We enjoy speed, but speed is one of the most important factors in serious accidents. Speed kills. Over 3,500 people die in road accidents in the UK every year, and 320,000 are injured. Well over half of us go over the speed limit. If a driver is going too fast, he will probably lose control because he doesn't have enough time to react if anything goes wrong. Just a 5-mile-an-hour increase in the speed of traffic can lead to a 25% greater chance of injury accidents. The Motor Industry Research Association is doing work which will prevent speeding in the future. Research funded by the British government could see speed-controlled cars on British roads within the decade. And this is not just a warning to the driver, but an intelligent system that will ride along with the driver, making sure that the car isn't going too fast and is obeying speed limits. The driver has no choice in the matter. As this car approaches a local speed limit sign, its onboard satellite positioning system makes sure that the car's engine and braking systems slow down before it reaches the speed limit sign.
The sensation is just like putting your foot to the floor, but there's no change and you can't feel anything, no acceleration at all.
Millions of citizens who usually obey the law commit criminal acts every day by breaking the speed limit. Speed control is never popular with motorists or motor manufacturers because they cannot sell enough cars. Speed cameras led to a dramatic reduction in speeding in the past, but now most drivers only slow down for a short time when they see a camera. Electronic speed control could mean the end of speeding cars and joyriders, but eventually it would also mean the end of speed cameras and speeding fines. The Myra car's speed control technology works on the road, but the next step is to find out how drivers use the system and whether it has any safety disadvantages. The University of Leeds has built a simulator and is testing driver behaviours using a model of a real journey. Research in the simulator shows that it's similar to drivers' behaviour on the road. During the journey, the drivers face some driving situations. The researchers want to find out whether the control system changes the driver's behaviour. If the driver is frustrated by having his speed controlled, will his behaviour become more dangerous in other situations?
This stretch of road that we're driving now, we actually use for a validation experiment on the simulator. It's actually a stretch of, oops, a bit too quick, a stretch of real road from the A614 in Humberside. We took the Ordnance Survey data for the road, modelled it up in the simulator, obviously went out to the real road to take pictures of the building so we could create the same images within the simulator, and then we could obviously use a like-for-like comparison. We had cameras set up on the real road looking at people's speed and lane position, and obviously we can do the same in the simulator and then do a one-for-one comparison. This is quite an annoying car. It's going even slower. It's going about 40 miles per hour compared to the 60 mile per hour speed limit. And obviously the road markings don't allow me to pass. Now this goes on, this event, for 3 or 4 minutes. It's just to see when the person gets so sick of following his car that they actually will commit a violation to cross the double white line, which for me is now.
So far, the results on the simulator are encouraging. The speed control system has few negative effects, far fewer than drivers themselves expected. But the larger question is, will drivers accept it?
Drivers like to speed. They get a thrill out of speeding, they get to their destinations more quickly, and obviously most of the time we're on the road, we want to minimise the time that we're taking to get somewhere. Drivers don't like being forced to comply with the speed limit. They don't like whatever way you do it. They don't like traffic calming, they don't like speed cameras, and they don't like something that stops the car from being driven above the speed limit. they lose their freedom, if you like.
That's not good, is it? Bloody cars travel so fast, you want to put your foot down and go when you're in a rush, isn't it?
It's probably a more positive way of controlling speed than the method that we're currently using.
The government is trying to make speeding as socially unacceptable as drunk driving has become. Electronic speed control may become a lifesaver.
Our best estimate of the injury accident savings is that we would save 35% of injury accidents, and the same calculation indicates we'd save almost 2/3 of fatal accidents across the country. That's a dramatic improvement.
Anything for safety, carry on with me. Spend what they like, do what they like, as long as it's for safety.
Research shows that electronic speed control would save fuel and dramatically reduce traffic problems as well. The recommended plan is to put this speed control system into use in the UK slowly over the next 2 decades. This system would be voluntary at first, but it would later become a requirement for new cars.